What up, y'all? Welcome back to Good Game Reviews. Here to do another game prediction. We are back to doing predictions, and we just happen to be doing the Jets again. This time, Patriots are going to the Jets. This is going to be at MetLife Stadium, and this is the Monday night matchup. So, pretty excited to see that. Haven't really been that excited to see a lot of Monday night games. A couple of them been good. Wasn't too pleased with the last one though. If you watched the Green Bay Lions one, you probably didn't like that ending unless you was a Green Bay fan. But if you was a fan of any other team, you probably didn't like that ending. Um, but anyway, we are on a new week. This is week 7, and we are going to get into which side matches up against the other side in terms of quarterback versus quarterback, wide receiver versus wide receivers, etc. Um, like I I like to do all of this on a napkin. So by the end of it, I'll show you what I got on the napkin. I'll show you which one has the advantages in certain sides. And based on that, you can kind of get an idea of what the game is going to look like. Um, let's just start with the quarterback position. At the quarterback position, we have Tom Brady versus Sam Darnold. As you know, Sam Darnold has recently come back. He played in a Dallas game, which he won. He looked pretty good in that game. Um, as far as Sam Darnold's play goes, not a lot to go on. It's only 2 games. The first game, he had 1 touchdown, didn't really move the ball that much against the Bills, but the Bills have a really good defense, so that could be one thing. And against the Cowboys, he looked pretty. I mean, he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good. He made his passes. He scored touchdowns. He did have the interception, but for the most part, against the Cowboys, who are supposed to have a good defense, he looked good to me. Um, as far as how they match up, Tom Brady has 10 touchdowns on the season, 3 interceptions, uh, about over 1,700 yards. But on the other side, Sam Darnold only has about over 500. So, I mean, looking at the numbers, it's kind of hard to look at the numbers, seeing that Sam Darnold hasn't really been in the in the season due to the illness he had. So can't really go on the numbers too much. It would be a little unfair. However, I will go just based on this. I'll just go on who do I trust to figure out the defense versus the other guy. And I would have to go with Tom Brady because I feel like he would, he would be able to figure out the Jets defense way easier than Sam Darnold would be able to figure out the Patriots defense. Um, I mean, that's just how I feel about that. So, you're already going with Tom Brady. So, moving on, running back room. We have the Patriots running back room versus the Jets running back room. Now, the Patriots have a lot of versatility. They have a lot of versatility in the running back room. They have Sonny Michel, James White, Rex Burkhead, if he plays, Brandon Bolden, just a lot of guys in there just doing their thing. Um, all of them showing the ability to be able to run and to be able to catch passes. Brandon Bolden actually has a reception touchdown on the year. Um, Sony Michel has gotten more involved in the receiving game, and I think that's what's kind of opened up, the amount of yards he's been able to get. He's looked a lot better ever since they started passing him the ball. So, I mean, that could have something to do with it. Um, as far as the Jets side, you have Le'Veon Bell, but other than that, Ty Montgomery, you don't really see a lot of involvement with Ty Montgomery. Last time we really were looking at Ty Montgomery was, his time with the Green Bay Packers, and that was like probably 2017 when like we were really like paying attention to him. Other than that, I don't like really see what Ty Montgomery brings to this to this matchup. It just seems like it's just Le'Veon Bell or bust to me. That's just the way it seems as far as you know the running back room in there. I mean, it's crazy. I'm looking at the numbers right now. Like I ain't gonna front. I'm looking at the numbers right now, and if you were looking at these numbers, you would think this was ridiculous. I mean, Le'Veon Bell has 85 attempts. He has 85 attempts, and the next highest guy is Ty Montgomery with 9. 85 attempts versus 9. Now, whatever you want to say, yeah, I just don't like. It just seems very warped in terms of like with terms of how they're trying to get everybody involved. So as far as the room goes, I would have to give that to the Patriots. Not saying that anybody in the Patriots running back room is better than Le'Veon Bell, not by a long shot. It's just that the group as a collective is better than the group as a collective for the Jets. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Um, Wide receiver. This is a little different. Um, Only thing that's like different about this than the other two is the injuries. Um, Excuse me. Josh Gordon, as you might know, is ruled out for this game. He will not be playing in the Monday night game. Um, Julian Edelman, of course, he's the number one guy. He has so far he has two 100-yard games in a row. Looking at the Washington game and then looking at the Giants game. Um, Philip Dorsett appears to be looking good. He should play in this game. It could be a game time decision. Who knows? But it's looking like he will participate in this game on Monday night. And then you also have the rookies, Jacoby Myers and Gunnar Olszewski. Um, it would be unfair to expect a lot from the rookies. I know a lot of people, at least who keep an eye on the Patriots, they like what they see in Jacoby Myers, but I mean, if he has to go out there and it's just him and Julian Edelman and Gunnar, you're probably not gonna like your chances that much. You're asking a lot from a new guy. So yeah, it's just a lot to expect him. I know we like him. I know he looks good, but it's a lot to expect. It's a lot to expect. Um, as far as the Jets side goes, the Jets seem to match up a little bit better in this regard. Robbie Anderson's looking good. Jameson Crowder's looking good. Um, Trying to remember his name. I can't believe I'm blanking out. Demaryius Thomas. Oh my goodness. Demaryius Thomas. He seems to be moving a little better. It's a shame we couldn't get him on the field in the regular season for us, but whatever. But yeah, that whole group right there, you would probably take that group over what the Patriots could be presenting in this game. So I would give that side to the Jets. Tight end position. This one was a tricky one. I was thinking about this one for the longest, probably longer than I had to think about any of these other spots. Reason why is the Patriots recently showed that two of the main guys who have been starting these past 6 games are going to be out. That's Matt LaCosse. That's Ryan Izzo. Both of those guys will be out. Ryan Izzo, of course, suffered a concussion. It had to happen in practice, so I don't know where else it could have happened, but it must have happened in practice. So, now he's, definitely going to be out of this game. Um, but ahead of time, the Patriots were able to re-sign um, Benjamin Watson, and they were able to sign Eric Tomlinson, who I believe will be mainly for like blocking duties, because he is a decent or a good blocking tight end. Um, so with these guys, pretty much like the replacement of the two guys that you lost, Matt Lacoste, who they pretty much used for pass catching. Ryan Izzo also they used for pass catching, but they was mainly trying to use him as a blocker. So you pretty much find a replacement in these two guys. Um, Ryan Izzo wasn't really that good as a blocker, so him being a blocking tight end and not being good at what he was specified as is pretty weird. So yeah, this seems to be a little bit of like a real fast upgrade that they just got at the tight end position. We don't know what shape Ben Watson is. We got to remember that he hasn't been in game action since last season. Remember, he didn't really participate. He didn't participate in the preseason games. You only saw him in the practices as far as like mini camp and all that. You didn't see him. He wasn't in game action. We did not see him in game action. We haven't seen him in game action, so this will be like his first game, in a minute. Um, so yeah, that's something to look at as the game goes on. As far as the Jet side goes, apparently their main guy, I want to say Henderson, or yeah, he appears to be doubtful for this game. So when you're looking at something like that, when a guy is doubtful, it's kind of like, will he play? Will he not play? Game time decision, all that type of stuff. The next guy that they have under him is Ryan Griffin, and looking at what he has is not really impressive at all. Like over the past 6 games, he only has 8 receptions, and I mean, that's just not a lot. And even with those 8 receptions, I don't even think he's broken 100 yards. So that's pretty weird. I mean, you're the next guy up, but you're not producing like they might want you to. Like I'm looking at stats, 8 receptions, 45 yards, 1 touchdown. Now he did get the touchdown with Sam Darnold back in, so maybe with Sam Darnold he might see an uptake in terms of touchdowns. Maybe Sam Darnold likes him as a target and is probably going to throw to him a little bit more. That could happen. So we'll have to see. But right now, I would lean more towards the Patriots side, only because with what Ryan Griffin has gave the Jets, is not enough to move it in their favor, especially with one of their main guys out. So it's once you break it all down, it becomes a little easier to see. As far as the O line goes, this is also kind of a difficult spot because the Patriots aren't really that good at O line either. The Jets, they've seen a couple of like last minute hits to that O line position. They're apparently probably going to be without the left tackle. Maybe they might not have the left guard, and the center Khalil is also looking banged up. So that's like a good portion of the line that that you might not be able to depend on. Um, as far as the Patriots goes, all of their O linemen, they're healthy. They're not questionable or doubtful or any of that. It's just the play. It's just the execution. And the weakest link on that line happens to be Marshall Newhouse. Nothing's wrong with Marshall Newhouse. He just is bad. So we can't blame any of that on injury. It's just he's not performing. Um, but with the injuries, and with the sacks that have been given up, Sam Darnold, he's only played 2 games. He's only played 2 games. He's been sacked 6 times. Granted, the Bills' defense is good, but he's been sacked 6 times. He got sacked 4 times in that game. He got sacked 2 times against the Cowboys. I mean, that's not a recipe for success. If your quarterback's only played 2 games and he's already been sacked 6 times, yeah. But you know, I look at that and I would have to say that the Patriots have, they have a better chance as far as you know protecting their QB. That's all I have to say. I know Marshall Newhouse has like 4 sacks given up, but everybody else has either 1 or 1.5. So you combine all the other guys who like combined together, they have like 5 sacks given up, and then Marshall Newhouse has 4, so that's 9 sacks on Tom Brady versus Darnold 6. But like I said again, Darnold has only played 2 games. He's only played 2 games and he's been sacked 6 times. So I'll give the O line side to the Patriots. Now that we kind of gotten through that, the offensive side, this next part is going to be very easy because we already know coming into this matchup who has the best defense. And I'm not just talking about the best defense between these 2 teams. I'm talking about the best defense in the whole National Football League. The defensive end position. You got to give that to the Patriots. Even though Michael Bennett is going to be serving a suspension for this 1 game, this was something that was given by the team, not by the league. This was like a dispute, so he's just going to serve his suspension, and then next week he'll be good. That's not if it's not traded. I've been hearing a lot of trade rumors and all that. I don't really think they're going to trade him, but the funny thing is, even if they do, it wouldn't really matter because he hasn't really been the main guy. He's only had as far as percentage of playing time, it's in the 30s versus what it was when he was with the Eagles last year, which was like around 60 something percent. So I mean that's a drastic drop, but it's weird. Like even without him, it seemed like they wouldn't miss a beat. That's just how much depth they have on that line. The defensive line, you also got to give that to the Patriots. They just seem to be producing more in terms of getting pressure inside. It's like I said, like they are just hitting. They are hitting. It's the reason why they're the number one team in terms of defense, just overall defense. I believe this. I believe they're second in sacks. So, I mean, that just says it right there. The linebacker group. Yes, C.J. Mosley is coming back. But they might be without one of their other linebackers. Putting it all on C.J. Mosley as the inside linebacker, I wouldn't bet on it. And him coming back from the groin, he's not even. He's still questionable. They're still calling him questionable with the groin injury. So, I mean, however much faith you want to put on that, I mean, go right ahead. But with all the depth that the Patriots have at the linebacker position, Calvin Noy, Dante Hightower, Jawan Bentley, Jamie Collins. I should have named Jamie Collins first because he's the one who's really coming. I mean, he's pretty much like the best defensive player on the team right now besides Stephon Gilmore. And I mean, he's a playmaker out there. He's sacking, intercepting balls, causing fumbles, pick sixes. I mean, the guy's doing it all. He really is doing it all. It's amazing what he's done since he's been back with this team. But yeah, as far as the linebacker position goes, you would easily have to give it to the Patriots. The cornerback position is not even a discussion. I just mentioned Stephon Gilmore. You have J.C. Jackson in there. You have Jason McCourty in there. Jonathan Jones. So yeah, that whole group right there is just strength, just strength. The safety position, You could make a case for the Jets as far as the safety position, and this would probably be one of the hardest ones. Uh, Jamal Adams, May, those two guys, they are definitely they definitely hitting. I think combined, like two of them combined, have 41 solo tackles. So they getting after it. They getting after it. But you look at the production that the Patriots safeties have been able to do, and I mean just Devin McCourty alone, he has 5 pass breakups and 4 interceptions. So I mean take with that as you will. He only has Jamal has 20 solo tackles. Devin has 40, but I mean not 40, 14. But I look at what this group has been able to do in terms of just getting these picks, and I mean it's just like just the defense as a whole has been nasty in terms of just takeaways, being able to turn the ball over. So you would have to give the cornerback position to the Patriots. You have to give the safety position to the Patriots. Pretty much anything, any defensive category here, you would give to the Patriots. Special teams, I would also give that to the Patriots. Reason why, they have two, I believe, like 2 punts blocked, scored on both of those. Jake Bailey, once again, he's like looking like one of the best punters in the league. I mean, the guy has like I said, the guy has a leg on him. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I really don't know what you would want me to say more on that. I mean, this like the whole squad, just like especially like the defense and the special teams. You can say what you want about the offense, but the defense and special teams, that is the strength right now. That is the strength of this team. And last but not least, and probably one of the most important spots on this list, coaching. Now, you're asking me, why would you put coaching? They're not going to be on the field. Well, coaching plays a very big part. It plays a very big part in whether these teams can win these games or lose these games. I know Bill Belichick likes to say players win games and coaches lose games, but I mean, a bad coach can put his team in a bad position if he's calling the wrong plays. I mean, you saw it in the Kansas City Denver game. They probably should have never called that quarterback sneak, but they did, and they put Patrick Mahomes in a bad position. Now the guy's out 3 weeks. I mean, they still won that game, of course, because they were going against the Broncos, but still, I mean, you're going to be missing your star quarterback for 3 weeks. Now they have to depend on Matt Moore. But I don't know why I got into that, but I just had to let you know why coaching matters so much. And in terms of coaching, you got to give it to the Patriots. Like I said, I think I said this in another video. Anytime I'm bringing up the coaching, I'm probably going to give it to the Patriots every single damn time because Bill Belichick. I'm not going to give it to any other team. If I bring up the coaching spot, it's just another thing that I can just give to the Patriots because they're going to win in that regardless. So, flipping over the list, you can check it out for yourself what I have picked, and I know it looks very lopsided. Particularly because of how much credit I'm giving to the defense. But trust me, it is fair as far as that goes. You could make a case for the running back. You say I said it's a group, but I guess you could make a case. Le'Veon Bell is going to be out there, and he's probably going to produce more. So you could knock that notch over to the Jets side. You can knock the tight end part to the Jets. I mean, you could probably even knock the O-line part to the Jets. But yeah, I know Quentin Williams coming back, but I'm not going to give the defensive line part to the Jets because Quentin Williams, the guy's talented. Believe me, the guy is very, very talented. But yeah, it's too much talent just in that defense as a whole to give it to the Jets in any of these categories, and they're all producing. So looking at that list, I know it looks lopsided, y'all. I know it looks lopsided. But one thing you got to understand, when you take into account, stats and just like the numbers, I know a lot of people want to say the Patriots haven't played anybody, but we have to go by the numbers. We can't just go by, oh, they haven't played this team or they haven't played that team, so we can't take that seriously. No, not exactly. They're number one in a lot of categories. That is hard to do. You don't just get number one. I don't care who your competition is. You're probably gonna slip in some spots. There's probably gonna be some things on defense that you can't do, but they seem to be able to do it all. So just saying that it's the competition is less than fair. We're still talking about a team who just came off of a Super Bowl because of that defense, limited a team that was scoring 33 points in the regular season to 3 points. Just three. So, yeah. I mean, make it as you will. Um, as far as like the sheet itself, I know it looks lopsided. I know there's probably gonna be some Jets fans that just completely disagree with this. But one thing I will say personally, I think this game, despite how lopsided the list looks, I think that this game could be very close. And that's the thing that kind of worries me. And it's always these divisional games. You look at the competition. You line up all of these sides and whatnot. And you look at it at the end after you get done doing all that, and you're looking, well, this side obviously has the clear cut path to the W, but these divisional games, it can be very unpredictable. One team could just be feeling it, and they could just come in and start dominating early. You never know. I'm pretty sure if I did this same list for the Cowboys and the Jets, I mean, I probably would have had a lot of things favoring the Cowboys. I probably would have a lot of things favoring the Cowboys, but you never know. I mean, you saw Amari Cooper go down in that game, and I mean that could be huge. You come into the game thinking you have something, then all of a sudden you just left looking up like what happened. So yeah, when you're looking at divisional games though, they can be very like tricky to predict because it's just all about the momentum at that point. Once the game starts, who strikes first, who keeps the momentum on their side, things like that. Um, but yeah, I personally think this game could be close. So if I'm going to give a score, I believe that the perfect score for this game would be a 27 or 28 to 21, possibly 24 victory. Pats. So like 28-24 Pats. That would be my closest thing. And it is weird thinking that the Jets would score 24 points on this defense, but like I said, divisional game. So if I could give a score, I would give it I would say like 28-24 Pats. So that would be my like official score prediction. Um, but yeah, this has been Good Game Reviews doing another game prediction for the Week 7 matchup, Monday night game, Patriots at Jets. Until next time, when I do another prediction or when I do another game review, just keep lookout for that. Also, I mentioned in the last video I created the Twitter channel for this page. I haven't done one for myself, so I mean I know that's kind of strange, but I just felt like I had to go ahead and make one for the actual YouTube page. So yeah, that's the thing. But like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, I'm out.